good production, it's a miracle. This brings a smile out on our skipper's face. Whoops, there's a misunderstanding here someplace. I said goose, not moose. And this Mama Moose seems to be in a big hurry to get someplace. Probably hot on the trail of Papa Moose, who's late getting home from a lodge meeting. Uh-oh, Papa got the word all right. Looks like he's wound up with antlers in his paddlers. I don't know what Mama said, but she must know all the answers. Well, let's get back to the original purpose of this trip, duck hunting. At least that's what it says in the fine print. Ah, the thrill of being in the good old out-of-doors. Not a worry on your mind, nothing but a carefree good time ahead of you. And, of course, there's always the blazing campfire, a good meal under your belt, and the company of congenial friends. Let's hope the weather is good tomorrow. An early breakfast, and then look out, ducks, here we come. Hey, wait a minute. We forgot to bring our ice skates. Besides, even in Alaska, these things happen so fast. This wasn't part of our plans. But it looks like Old Man Winter forgot to read the instructions. Oh, well, guess there's nothing else to do but chop loose. Haven't seen too much ice since the last Elks cocktail party. Look at that, will you? Water, water all around, and all of it frozen over. Say, I wonder if the oven route will start. The temperature must be below zero. Yep, 3 twists, and there she goes. Now for a little trial spin. It's lucky we brought our Duracraft aluminum boats with us, but not so lucky for our friends around the point. If they start out with that wooden boat of theirs through 2 inches of lake ice, we'll be able to follow a trail of splinters. Yes, sir, it looks like a 6-mile trip up the lake is first on the list right after we load up. Seems to be working fine. That Evan Route 25 powers us right along. Boy, what a crazy feeling this is. There's nothing like a slice through the ice to add spice to your life. Hand me that gun just in case. But if you gotta, you've gotta. And with a Duracraft aluminum boat, you can. This one is built best for our use in Alaskan rivers and streams. All aluminum, 30 feet long with welded seams, 40 inches on the bottom, and a 5.5-foot beam. And that apparatus on the stern there is called a lift. It facilitates traveling over shallow waters. With it, the boat can be raised and still have power. It's made from steel tubing with a hand lever to lift and lower, and comes equipped with shock cords, which automatically assist in the lifting operation. This slick gadget was invented by the old sourdough, the same fellas who invented sourdough hotcakes. And come to think of it, the same principle is utilized in both inventions, the power to raise. Get it? If the list is adjusted right, the motor will seek its proper level, enabling the prop to get its best thrust at all times. Well, so far so good. With that extra distance involved in picking up our friends around the point, we'll wind up with 20 miles of tough sledding, if you'll pardon the expression, ahead of us. And that Evinrude 25 is performing like a winner all the way. Now, here's the powerful action of the Evinrude in slow motion. In spite of icing conditions and numerous chunks of ice which kicked the motor clear out of the water at times, there was no falter. It really did the job. Well, here we go, gathering guests in March, to coin an old phrase. These lads we're after faced the prospect of staying out here on a duck diet for a couple of weeks, at least until the ice got thick enough for a ski-equipped plane to land and pick them up. Here we go, making about 15 miles an hour, and all hands hang on for dear life. Whoops, that's what you call a neat flip of a warm nip. Don't mind if I do. Those chunks of tin you're looking at were fastened to the wooden boat in hopes of providing sufficient protection from the ice, but they just didn't do the trick. So, into the two Derricraft river boats went 7 duck hunters, 2 Labrador retrievers, 8 motors, and assorted ducks, whiskey, ammunition, and double. And after 20 miles of powering our way through 2-inch thick lake ice, we find ourselves out on the Tanana River. And here, as you can see, the ice got a lot thicker. Fortunately, it was pretty well broken up. And by the way, that's one of the rescue party at the tiller of the other boat. And by now, a thoroughly sold customer. From now on, it's Duracraft for him. The Tanana is the scene of the yearly $200,000 ice classic, the famous Nenana Breakout. Hazard a guess at a bucket chance, and you may wind up with a fortune. But we weren't out of the woods yet, as things turned out. Bucking the ice-clogged Tanana took more gas than we had anticipated, especially with the extra load, and here we are, out of gas. Okay, boys, what have you got that will burn in this Evinrude? Everything went in but the lighter fluid. Now, here's where the Evinrude really gets the test. 1 motor for 2 boats lashed together and bucking the ice-clogged Tanana River. Well, that didn't last long, did it? She won't run without gas. So, break out the paddles and poles, boys. Here's where we discover a few muscles that must have been hidden away someplace. How about that? Sailing we will go. Man the mainsail and hoist the topsail, or we'll lower the boom to make more room. With a hand here, mate, or better yet, lend your arm to. And finally, land ahoy. But for a minute or two, it looks as though the wind will blow us out to the opposite bank. Everybody digs in, including the photographer. Yes, sir, home port never looks so good as we get a helping hand from some of the landlubbers who happen to be standing by. Ooh-wee, look at those whitecaps, will you? Looks like we made it just in time. 60 miles in all, and the last 10 by hand. And to top it all, I don't even like duck. But I do like to live, and thanks to the Evinrude and the Duracraft boats, we're here to tell the story.